actually a bit of a misnomer. It should be called the Medical Student Resident and Fellow Committee because it is the AACAP committee that's designed to represent all trainees.
It's through AACAP, and it's where trainees interested in child and adolescent psychiatry can learn more about the field, increasing skills and networking, as well as learning from members, leaders in the field, and gain insight for what is child psychiatry.
It is a place where they can meet others in a similar position as they are, to find like-minded colleagues,
as well as participating in different events that we have throughout the year to increase skills
and develop a great network of individuals who are very passionate about child and adolescent psychiatry.
People who are just dipping their toes in CAP to people who are committed to this as a career. And we look to promote community and support one another across this phase of training.
The MSR committee has grown so much over the years. It's really great to see that at each and every monthly meeting that we have, there seems to be a new face or new faces amongst the group.
When I first started many years ago, we would fit in a small conference room, and our conference calls would be maybe a dozen people, and we would take turns figuring out who was going to take the minutes. But now when I'm hearing the co-chairs talk about the committee, where there can almost be 3 digits of people on a Zoom call.
Over the years, the MSR committee has grown by leaps and bounds. From the mentorship initiative, where committee members have tried to connect mentors and mentees through specialized interests, has just been such a wonderful program.
Over the last few years, we have had some just very inspirational leaders, and we're always so amazed that year after year, the leadership from medical students and the enthusiasm and the amazing creativity that these people have brought have just exploded exponentially.
And, we've also noticed that there's been more, trainee-inspired sessions at the AACAP annual meeting and more trainee-led submissions through the Medical Student and Resident Committee.
In addition, I think the MSR committee has left quite a mark on AACAP through their participation in annual meetings and yearly events.
The peer mentorship network is really a shining star of our work, where we're getting people connected with a mentor just a level above them in training. So a medical student with a resident to get that close and relevant mentorship.
And, it's just great to see that we've been able to incorporate a lot more longitudinal programming throughout the year, rather than at just the annual meeting, on all these, wonderful interests that we have, such as match and recruitment, learning more about peer mentorship.
And we're really focusing on recruitment, especially recruiting people earlier in the training cycle. We recognize that general psychiatry has gotten vastly more competitive. And so we really need to work on supporting medical students who are interested in CAP so that they can ultimately get to where they want to be.
So, there's actually so many more, but these are just some examples for how much we have grown over the years, all the way from focusing on the annual meeting, which is still ongoing, to really becoming more creative and fostering this environment of inclusivity.
So in terms of how to get involved in the MSR committee, our meetings are open. We super encourage anyone who's interested to join. And then you just come to a meeting and hear about what's going on, and you offer to help with things.
If you want to contribute, bring yourself to our meetings. Tell us what matters the most to you as a trainee. Be curious, be enthusiastic.
I started in the MSR committee as just a third-year medical student. It was really a welcoming community when I was looking for a place to find career interests, to find mentorship. I would come to the monthly Zoom meetings every month and learn from people who were residents, fellows, and even attendings in the field.
I was able to connect through emails and learned about the Medical Student and Resident Committee. And anyone can join their calls. And so immediately you're sitting on a call with other trainees from all over the country who share your passions and share your interests. I really felt immediately welcomed to the AACAP community. I was added to the listserv. I got emails from the training and education team and the Medical Student and Residence Committee, and there were a ton of ways that I could immediately plug into the organization.
I engaged in a couple different MSR events, such as the MSR breakfast. And right after that breakfast was the committee meeting in Chicago. And I signed up to help with some MSR events throughout the next year. And I've kind of been involved ever since.
So I got involved with the MSR committee actually after I attended my first annual meeting, and I had applied for one of the Life Members Mentorship Travel Grants and was fortunate enough to get selected for that. And through that grant, I got to meet some of the owls who are also known as Life Members. I realized that it's such a special group of child psychiatrists that are such valuable mentors. And so that's how I got really involved in helping out with the MSR sponsored event at the annual meeting, the OWL mentorship event.
The best part about being a committee member of the Medical Student and Resident Committee is really the relationships and the people.
It's the people, from the volunteers and mentors and members and our wonderful staff liaison, shout out Anneke.
Like connections that I've gotten to form with other people. I think it's been so special.
The camaraderie. It really is a space to get to meet people from all over the country and really the world.
It's really so wonderful to see a group of like-minded peers every month on Zoom. But what's even better is when we get to all connect in person at the National AACAP meeting.
The best part for me of being a committee member is the opportunity to collaborate on really cool projects.
All the really cool connections that you get to make with people across the country that kind of share same values and same goals and same like educational aspirations as me.
I love that our members are able to always bring in new and exciting projects.
It's just so wonderful to be able to collaborate and work on projects together and really just get this wonderful sense of community.
To be like on projects with people that come from like universities and institutions around the country and kind of develop like professional relationships and friendships with these people.
Being a part of this committee has been such a gift, whether it be leadership, innovation, and friendship. MSR says, everyone's welcome, and if you have an idea, let's make it happen.
Allowed me to develop leadership skills within AACAP and allowed me to meet people, of course, within AACAP. Interestingly, after I think I served as co-chair for maybe 4 years, and I felt it was time to step down and give some new blood a chance to come in and lead the reins. And probably not 1 or 2 days later, I got a call from the co-chair of the CME committee. And I remember him saying this on the phone. He goes, "A little birdie told me that you're stepping down from the MSR committee. Would you like to co-chair the CME committee?" And I am sure that I would not have gotten that invitation had I not been co-chair of the MSR committee.
An example of an event that we used to have at the annual meeting, something called the Career Development Forum, where people could get mentorship on specific topics. And now we've taken it on the road and throughout the year. Every couple of months, we have a session that's focused on, for example, research, academic psychiatry, autism, CAP across the lifespan. So thinking about early childhood all the way up through transitional age youth. And so that's something to look out for on our calendar.
My largest contribution to the MSR committee came from recognizing the value of peer support. The peer mentorship program was founded in 2018, and over the course of 4 years, we have built a growing community of 350 plus members. Our program expanded to 2 grant-funded projects, including this video series, as well as a peer mentorship fellowship program. None of this would have happened without the spirit of MSR.
We developed and helped grow the peer mentorship program, which is now has hundreds of people who are receiving peer mentorship from all over the country. I even received some peer mentorship myself from an early career psychiatrist who helped me determine that triple board was the right pathway for me and helped me through the whole application process. And this year, as an official committee member, I kind of took that peer mentorship that I received from the MSR committee and used it to give back through a presentation at the National AACAP meeting, where we talked to current medical students and current applicants to psychiatry residencies and triple board residencies and help them determine what their values were, how best to apply, how best to tell their child psychiatry story. And so the MSR committee has facilitated both my journey as well as the journey of others through the work that I've been able to do.
So an event at the annual meeting that holds a really special place in my heart is our self-compassion workshop. We've put this on for the past 3 years, so for the 2 virtual annual meetings, and then last year for our in-person meeting in Toronto. This is an event that is actually co-sponsored by the MSR Committee, the Training and Ed Committee, and for the past 2 years, the Diversity and Inclusion Committee as well. Essentially, the purpose of this event is to create a space for well-being and connection, and to kind of open up this conversation about vulnerability and how we can cultivate self-compassion for ourselves amidst the struggles that we deal with both in our job and with the systems that we work in, especially in the times of this COVID pandemic. I think the most exciting part for me about this is that because we've gotten such a great response from the self-compassion workshop over the past 3 years at the annual meeting, something that I'm trying to put together is a longitudinal self-compassion project, essentially taking this event at the annual meeting and trying to turn it into something that we can practice on a year-long basis, so that we can bring together both trainees and attendings, all people that practice child and adolescent psychiatry in some form can participate in throughout the year.